inspired. Be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? I am Marlene Motivates. How are you doing? I am your life coach. And today we're going to be talking about the topic of walking on eggshells. And we're going to be talking about those individuals. Hi, Miss Jackie. How are you doing? Hi, Jill. Hope everybody's having an amazing day. Uh, Welcome in. How are all my motivators family? I hope everybody's doing awesome. Hope everybody's doing amazing, feeling well, in good spirits, feeling and being your best. So, welcome everybody. So, like we said on today's topic, today we're going to be talking about the walking on eggshells folks, walking on eggshells people. Do you have people in your life that make you feel that way, that you have to walk on eggshells around them? Well, we're going to be sharing some information that I found on the internet about these individuals. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to share this information because we want to keep it informative, okay? So here we go. I'm sharing the screen, and here we go. So this information says right here, I hope you can see it on the screen. I don't know, that's not very clear. So I don't know how to help that because it's zeroed in, but just going to go ahead and read this. Do you feel like you can't share anything with your partner, or I would add a family member, a friend, because of how they might react? Of course, an ad pops up. Are you constantly walking on eggshells because you want to avoid upsetting them? It isn't always apparent that exchanges with your significant other or insert relative or friend leave you scared to approach them. However, if you're often hesitant to respond or excessively mindful of your actions around your partner, your friend, your relative, or anybody else, this could mean that you tend to walk on eggshells around them. Hmm. Do you do that? Who does that? In the chat. Let's be honest. Hi, Miss Kelly. How are you? Welcome. Do you have people like that in your life that you feel like you have to walk on eggshells around them? Makes you feel very skittish. You feel very like you can't be yourself because they're always going to make you feel some type of way. And having people like that are not open or are always tense, and they make you feel like you everything is off limits. You never know what is going to be the next thing that you say, that you won't step into something and like something blows up in your face. You know, good communication is so important with any healthy relationship, but it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And if you feel like you have to tread lightly in every interaction with others, it's time for us to reassess the situation and to figure out what to do about it. How do I deal with these individuals? How do I deal with these people? Okay. Walking on eggshells on people. It's not the easiest thing. You know, ideally, we want to have people around us, a partner, a friend, a relative, anybody in our life that we can be open and you can communicate about everything. But if you have a person in your life that has not healed the wounds from their past, has not learned about boundaries and allowing other people to be themselves. I think the walking on eggshells folks, the walking on eggshells people, is all based on all of their insecurities, all of the things that they have not worked on. So every little thing that somebody else does triggers them because they have not put in the work to work on themselves, work on healing themselves, work on their attitudes, work on the things that they do. Because if I'm going to be 100% honest, most of the time when people trigger us, it's because it highlights something inside of us that we have not had enough courage to face. We have not had enough courage to talk about those things that we need to talk about. And most of the time, it's because we didn't set a boundary. It's because we didn't say no. It's because we need some healing within our heart, within our spirit. We've been doing too much. We've been dealing with people's attitudes. And if you don't go back and reach back and fix the things that happened to you, not that you can change it or shift it, but it's your reaction to it. How do I handle this? Because whether we know it or not, a lot of our past trauma, our past pain, our past hurt, it affects us, and we will project those insecurities, those fears onto other people and make them feel like we have to walk on eggshells to be around them. And that's just not going to work. Nobody wants to be around somebody where you feel like you're stepping into what are those things? A booby trap. You never know, okay? Or you're stepping into some quicksand. And like I said, it's important for us to reassess our situation and to figure out what to do about it. I want you all to know that we each have a choice to make. We each can make a choice to say, I don't want to be in a toxic relationship. I want to be in a happy environment. I want to be around people that I can feel safe, I can talk to about things. So let's talk about, what does walking on eggshells mean? Just in the same way that an egg demands delicate treatment to avoid cracks in the frame, a person who walks on eggshells around any individual, around any folks, they will observe considerable caution to avoid upsetting them. Every little thing upsets them, okay? And this upset could manifest in angry outbursts, screaming, throwing things, giving people the silent treatment, basically acting like a 2 year old, having that 2 year old tantrum, or making you feel like you don't have any choices. It's kind of being very controlling, and you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what way that they're going to swing. Are they going to be in a good mood, or are they going to be in a bad mood? And that's not good, because if somebody is like that, a walk on eggshells sort of mentality, their mood swings from happy to mildly annoyed or even angry at the slightest shift in another person's tone. And the result is the other person is always walking on shaky ground because they fear their instability. They fear uh, how are they going to act or react. And it's like you have to bend over backwards to 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 be in good graces with that person. And nobody has time for that, right? I know I don't have time for the negative people. I don't have time for the drama people. Hey, realist, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And nobody has time for these walking on eggshells folks, okay? Excessive, spontaneous, and terrible mood changes. Do you know individuals like this? I tend to say that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes people who have like these multiple personalities, or those who are, like, have the high highs or the low lows, they may have some mental illness. Now, this is not attacking. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing. I'm just sharing some things because of the life that I have lived. And everybody, if you have observed people that act a certain way, and when you see multiple people do things, you develop some, so you're paying attention, you're analyzing, you're watching people to see their behaviors, because a person who causes another to resort to eggshell behavior is often guilty of emotional abuse, as one partner is placed on high alert to the other's next moves. Now, that's a big deal. You should never be on high alert. You should never feel like you can't say or do things, because it's going to trigger that person. You don't know if they're going to, like, go off screaming, yelling, or if they'll start crying. Basically, people who you have to walk on eggshells around is a person that they're not stable mentally. They're not functioning well mentally. Hi, keeping it hopeful. How are you? Welcome. Like I say all the time, you know, this channel is all about motivating everyone to be our best self. And I want to say to all of my motivators family, every single one of us has to make choices on what we put up with. And I know for myself, I did not understand that I could make a choice to not deal with certain individuals because of their erratic behavior, because of their drama, because of their control, because of them just, you never know what mood they're going to be in. And that kind of causes me to feel, it causes me to feel very agitated, gives me a lot of anxiety, because when you're around individuals that you don't know how they're going to be, it definitely disrupts your mental health. It disrupts your peace, and you really don't know how to deal with those individuals. Okay. But basically, it's just a sinister form of control. People who have these behaviors, this walk on eggshells sort of personality and behavior, it's sinister. It's evil, because they are not in control of themselves. They have some emotional, mental, and maybe it's even some inner dialogue going on, where they do not have high self-esteem. They've given into the fears or the control behaviors from previous relationships, maybe from when they were a child. And it can happen to anybody. It's something that you have to, when you see individuals who have these type of behaviors, you need to be on high alert, and understand that you don't have to take it. And I don't care who it is. It could be a partner, it could be a friend, quote unquote, it could be a relative, it could be somebody on the job. There's lots of people who have lots of issues mentally, emotionally, and they will take out their issues and their problems on you. You shouldn't have to feel that you have to walk on eggshells around anybody. You shouldn't. You shouldn't have to feel that you have to walk on eggshells around anybody. And I think that it's the worst when it comes to the job, especially management. If the manager is angry and bitter and a micromanager and wants to, you know, everything, what they want to check in every single thing that you're doing, they're very controlling, possessive, and all of those things. It's not good for us. It's not good for your mental health. You will feel triggered, very uneasy around these people. So we should talk about some of the signs of people who walk on eggshells, okay? Now, people who have this personality, it's honestly emotional abuse, okay? It is, because it can start off something as simple as someone raising their voice. Next thing, it could be someone screaming, snapping at you. Next thing, the person will want to put their hands on you or throw objects or do some manipulative, some mind games with you. Because when a person is unhealed or they're not stable mentally, by default, whoever is around them, they're the ones that's going to get the the brunt of that anger, the brunt of the pain. And these are some of the things that happens. Angry outbursts and complaints are often a blowout of proportion, okay? Verbal disagreements or even assault become staples of the relationship. One person is always on constant guard around the other, especially it could be if a spouse or significant other has issues and there's children in the home. That one partner that is stable always has to be trying to protect and trying to always apologize for what the um, eggshell um, folk is doing. And you shouldn't have to constantly apologize. And I have been around individuals who are like that, and you never feel safe. You never feel like you can just be yourself. You can never be happy because they're always angry. And if the focus shifts away from them, it's a thing. They don't like anybody else to have attention. They want the spotlight, and they always want to be right. That already is telling you that something is wrong with this individual emotionally and mentally, because nobody can always be right. If you have somebody around you and they always instill fear, like you feel fearful around them, or you feel like agitated, highly agitated around them, or they're always starting a fight, especially if it tends to go to a physical blowout, and it's always somebody else's fault for why they couldn't control their words, or why they couldn't control their hands. It's always somebody else's fault. They do not assume responsibility for themselves. And family and friends and anybody who is in their path gets the abuse from this person's character flaws, their immaturity. Or I'm just going to say it like it is. There's a lot of people who need to get some medication. They need to see a doctor and be on some medication because they are not well mentally. They're not well. Miss Jackie says, if you constantly have to walk on eggshells around people, those are not your people. Yeah, they're not. They're not your people. Yes, people who walk on eggshells around people, they don't know their worth. Yeah, they have a lot of skeletons in the closet. They have a lot of drama. They have anger issues. And yes, Miss Jackie, the deflection is real. Always, it's always somebody else's fault. Always somebody to blame. And they never do anything. Of course, they are perfect and everybody is against them. Do you know individuals who are like that? Another big major problem is those it becomes a norm. Like you're always they're always upset about something. They're always angry. They're always saying something, but they don't think about what they say, but it's somebody else's fault. It's not another person's fault when you are the person that has an attitude. The only thing that we can control in this life is our reaction. How do we react to things? And even sometimes that's very difficult because people can really get on our nerves. It's hard to be able to keep your control, to not say what you want to say, because there's a lot of times we want to say things but we shouldn't. Okay, and don't say it because some people are just not worth it. But for the sake of this discussion, I do have to say this. I'm going to um, let me put this. I'm going to put this in the chat so everybody can see it because this is very important for today's conversation. And that is, if you or a loved one is a victim of DV, contact this number. It's a free hotline because nobody has to take someone and their drama, their abuse, and all of it. It's not worth it for your mental health, okay? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So don't stay longer than you should. And when I hear all the time, people will think, well, it's my marriage. Oh, that's my sister. That's my dad. That's my mom. That's my girlfriend. That's my wife. That's this person. That's a friend. We put up with people and their abuse and their drama, and it affects us. It doesn't make us feel our best. You ever like being around those people, like it really messes up your nerves. They rattle your nerves, or they attempt to rattle your nerves. So let's talk about how to deal with walking on eggshells people. So beyond that tense atmosphere between that walking on eggshells person, that relationship is governed by excessive caution on one person's part, and it may also increase the risk of developing serious mental health disorders. And there are so many effects when we talk about emotional abuse, and that's including learning to fear that person. It may lead to conditions like a depression, anxiety, and that sort of abuse is also tied to problems with self-esteem, low self-esteem, and nobody deserves to feel less than because somebody couldn't control their mouth, couldn't control their hands, they couldn't control the way they treat you. If you have somebody like that, they are toxic and you have to leave them. I've honestly had to leave a job because I had management and other people on the job that they were one of those people who thought that they were gods, and they were the smartest people, and you could never know anything. They were very demeaning. They were very, very controlling. Everything had to go their way. It was very weird and strange, and I don't vibrate in that space. I don't handle that well because nobody should be able to control every single thing that you do. I understand on the job, and there's things that need to be done, but it should not be that it has to be exactly how I want it to be. Dealing with people like that, it will bring up tension, and eventually something is going to be said, and somebody eventually is going to snap. It's important to know that you have the choice to walk away, to leave, to not deal with certain individuals that are not well. And I'm just going to say it. There's a lot of people who are not well on the job. There's a lot of people who are not well in our families. There's a lot of people who are not well on social media. There's a lot of people who are not well. They need a prescription for some medication. They need to be diagnosed. They need to work on their past. They need to forgive. They need to learn to love themselves. But it's usually just about control. They want control. They want to know your business. They want you to do everything, and they always have to be right. And nobody can always be right. Hi, Miss 702. How are you? Welcome. Yes, it's facts. Hi, Wellness. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday, everybody, to all the Motivators family. I It's crazy how some people feel that they know so many things about you, or that there's only one way to do things. Do you know individuals like that? Well, you're in the right space for us to talk about this. So it's important to communicate with the person that is like that, because I'll tell you something. When I was that way, where I was controlling and, angry and bitter, is because I hadn't looked at myself in the mirror yet. I didn't know myself. I didn't love myself. I was in that zone of, I didn't heal. I didn't forgive certain people. And when you're in that space of unforgiveness, if you're in that space of anger, anybody who comes in front of you, around you, they're going to feel your wrath. Let me tell you, it's a real thing. When you're angry, you are going to project your anger, and nobody deserves that. I say that all the time. It's nothing wrong with taking your time, being by yourself, get yourself a therapist, and go silent on everybody, because you got to take care of number one. You got to take care of yourself first. But and set those boundaries. That's the thing about when you have people in your life that are like that you have to walk on eggshells around them. They don't understand that you have choices that you can make. I can make a choice to not deal with you. I can make a choice to not do what you're asking me to do. Just because somebody asks you to do something, it does not mean you want to do it. And I had to learn to find my voice. I had to learn that it's not about being nice, it's not about being kind. There's certain people that do not deserve to have a space in your life. There's certain people that don't deserve to be around you, because they just want to break you. Okay. There's so much people, they want to break you. They want to break your spirit. They want to break you down. They want to control you. They don't want to make you happy because they are unhappy. Don't we know that all too well? So many individuals that are unhappy, they want to make you unhappy just like them. Don't give them your power. See, we're motivated for a purpose. We know better, right? Motivators family. And I want you to say that to yourself. Reaffirm it. I am better. I know better. I love myself. I deserve to be respected. And respect goes both ways. If they do not respect you, do not respect them. No, don't let people talk down to you like you're stupid, you're a dummy, you don't know, or they play those mind games like, "Oh, I think that's just you." No, it's not just me. It's you, and you're trying to turn things around, because that's what they do, especially people who have tend to have more of a narcissist personality, controlling, manipulative, jealous, angry, and they want to start an argument with you. They hate you because they hate themselves. That's one thing that I did not know in talking about these personalities and walking on eggshells people, is it has nothing to do with me. I used to all the time go inside of myself so often and be like, why don't they like me? What did I ever do to them? It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. And because they are unhealed, and because they want to be negative, and because they see you not doing what you used to do, especially if you're elevating, you're working on your personal development, you're shifting your mindset, you're not doing what you used to do, you don't let them have control and power over you anymore. You're not arguing, you don't have to convince people of trying to be on your side. Okay. If you don't like it, okay. Don't give them the energy, because that's the fuel that they need to start a heated debate. And they want to debate with you, and they want to argue with you, and they want to tell you how you did them wrong. Okay, that's up to you. If that's how you want to take it, we cannot be in control of another person's emotions. The only emotions that we can control is our own. We can't control how another person interprets something. We cannot be in control of people who are angry. We cannot be in control of the people who are jealous. We cannot be in control of the people who are lazy and unmotivated. You can only work on yourself. That's it. We can't work on anybody but ourselves. And that's just it, Miss Jackie. A lot of people don't want to seek out therapy because they feel it labels them. And you know what? I had to learn that that was okay. You know, stop worrying about other people and what will they think if I'm going to therapy. But when I went to therapy, I never told anybody I was in therapy. I just went because I knew I needed to do something for me so that I can be my best. And to be my best, I had to love on myself. I had to do everything that I could do to be happy. And I know I was not happy. Hi, James. How are you? Welcome. I hope you're doing great. I hope everybody in here is doing great and you had a great Wednesday so far. But that's just what it is. It's all about control. And when people can't control you, that destroys them on the inside. You know, it's a thin line between love and hate. And if a person cannot control you, if they can't use you, if they can't be in a relationship with you, they'll want to break you down. It's sad, but it's a very thin line. Okay. So we have to figure out our emotional needs. What do I need as a woman? What do I need as a man? And figure out where do you want to go from there. You have to spend some time thinking about your own emotional needs. You may have been so focused on being a parent or a daughter or a son or a sibling or a friend or an employee or a businesswoman, a businessman. You've been so busy taking care of these relationships that you forgot to think about your own self and what you have going on and how you're dealing with things in this life or not dealing with it. Because being around these individuals for such a long period of time, it will start to affect you. It will affect your mental health. So you got to really figure out your true emotional needs. And you may have been so focused on your spouse, significant other, your friend, your children, your sibling, your business that you forgot about yourself. You've lost touch with yourself. You've lost touch with what is important to me. And something that some of us may need to think about is breaking things off with somebody who is a walking on eggshells person. If I don't feel like I can talk, I can be safe without being attacked, without being interrupted. There is no support there. There's no love. If it's only control, if it's only jealousy, if it's only what they want you to do, if you have to be in fear of their reaction, that's not a good, healthy relationship. I don't care. It doesn't matter who it is. It could go from your mother to a best friend to a spouse to somebody on your job. It's very daunting when you are being mistreated. And I want everybody to know that none of us deserves to be mistreated, but we put it off having those conversations. Okay. Can you work on your attitude? Do not talk to me that way. And let me tell you, the anger will start. It will start. People will go off. Then they will blame you. Oh, I think you have an attitude today because that's their projection. They project from their fears, from their insecurities, because they want to keep you around so that they can manipulate you, have you like those strings of a puppet. There's some people and they're master puppeteers. That's what they do. They only know how to be controlling, but they don't want to be controlled. It's very interesting, isn't it? But you put off having those conversations because you're afraid of their reaction or what may come next. But you absolutely need to put yourself first in this situation. So focus on what do I actually need? What can help me so that I can be clear in my vision and move forward? Okay. And one of the best things, like I said, you can do is first you have to inform people of what they're doing, because if you do not call it out and tell people what they're doing, then they don't know. But after you've told people what they're doing and you don't like it and all of that, and they still want to do what they want to do, now it's time for you to do the things to protect your mind, your heart, your spirit, and your soul. Okay. You shouldn't live in fear or anger or disruption or control. Speak to somebody that you can trust. That is so important, to speak to a loved one. Okay. Somebody who understands. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much, Miss Jackie, for dropping links. And that's Miss Jackie's business page. And check out all the links that are dropped by Miss Jackie. Yes, people shift the blame when they're insecure. That is exactly what happens when somebody can't know your business, when they can't control you, when they say something and they see that it doesn't affect your self esteem. If they can't step on you to elevate, like if it doesn't affect you, they're like, See, some people only want to be in the spotlight, and the only way they know is to put you down, to embarrass you, to make you feel like nothing in front of other people. But it's all a reflection of who they are inside, very insecure. Yes, Miss Jackie, we have to set boundaries for ourselves as well as other people. You have to. You have to set boundaries. You have to let people know that this is not acceptable and I'm not going to take it. And it's foolishness. And if you're going to continue on, then I have to go. And that's it. Sometimes you say that out loud, but other times, if it's situations where you know it's unsafe or you know that this person is not well mentally, you have to have that conversation with yourself. I have to save me. I have to save my mental health. I have to save myself from the drama, the headaches, the negativity, the projections, the lies, the manipulation. Save yourself from all of it, because none of us need any of that. Nobody wants to be around somebody who is a person that you have to walk on eggshells with. And we talked about this a little bit earlier, but yes, speak to a therapist, somebody who has professional skills. I know that maybe not everybody will be able to afford a therapist, but if through your job, I know through certain jobs that I've had, they do have where if you do certain things like speaking to a therapist is the part of your well-being. And if a person has a very positive, healthy, happy well-being, that's going to be a good employee. So they want you to seek out getting those visits. And I make sure every 2 to 3 months I do a check-in, even if it's just an online visit, to make sure everything is good with me, talk about a few things, and then I continue on. You have to continue on. The relationship you have with yourself is ongoing. It's never a journey that is going to end, but you have to learn to look at yourself in the mirror, along those bumps in the road, along with these drama people and this projection and these micromanagers and these people who have mental illness and control issues and all of it. And afterwards, there are sometimes some psychological scars that are left from an emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially abusive relationship. And it can run very deep. Sometimes it comes from the people that you love the most. And we know the saying, the people that we love the most hurt us the most. And you can't turn to them because they are the source of the drama, they're the source of the pain. So, speaking to a professional can help us with navigating that pain and the trauma that was endured throughout it. And little by little, step by step, Eventually, you'll start to address those mental issues that have developed, and as a result of the trauma, help you to learn to have healthy coping mechanisms. Okay. So, honestly, the takeaway of today's topic is that relationships can offer a safe, warm embrace from the craziness of this world. And in some cases, some of these pairings can cause the most negative imbalances in your mental and your physical well being. So, such situations are very unhealthy and unsustainable. You can't sustain a relationship with somebody who is not well, is not their best, is not at peace. And it's not your job to make people grow up. It's not your job to um to fix somebody who needs help. That's their job. They need to be an adult and step up for themselves. Miss Jackie says there are places that offer free or low cost therapy on a sliding scale fee. So there's no excuse. One would just have to make an effort to go. And what it is that most people don't want to admit that they need help. Was pandering. I was on the teeter totter back and forth, like I think I can fix it. I think I can just pray about it. And don't get me wrong, everybody. I am a woman of faith, but I believe that there are things that are in place to help us. You know, your spirituality has a place, but those deep things, those traumatic things, those things that we keep going back to, that is not good for us, we need some the right tips. We need the right support in helping us to be able to do what is next and what is best for us. It's just some encouragement. I always will encourage everybody to do what's best for them. This is not a channel where I'm going to say you have to do this and you have to. No, I just want you all to be well. I want you all to be your best. I want you all to experience peace in your life. I don't want you to feel that you have no options, because we always have the option to walk away. We always have the option to not go around those people. We always have the option to choose ourselves. Okay? Yes. So that's a very important thing. Yes, indeed. I know that very well. Some family members will add to your stress. Isn't that true, Jill? Well, we could pause on here for a moment. Family members that are the walking on eggshells folks. Do you have a brother, a sister, a cousin, an auntie, a grandma, maybe it's your child? It could be anybody who you are related to. They can bring you so much stress and pain because of what they're going through and what they're dealing with, right? You have to be very careful. You have to be very, very careful about what you share. Hey, Raymond, how are you? Happy Wednesday. You have to be very careful of what you share. Not everybody that you love loves you back. Okay? Yes, Miss 702. It breaks you down, doesn't it? Breaks you down really badly, very badly. So you have to be aware of all of those things, that while you care for people, while you love people, you have to love yourself. And I had to have like really literally had to shake my own self up. Like, Marlene, what are you doing? Like, you're giving your time, your energy, your money, to all of these people who don't care about you. It's like, when have they showed up for you? When have they asked you how you are doing? When have they ever supported any of your whatever that you're trying to do, any of your goals? It's always about them and what they want and their agendas. So those people, those walking on eggshells people, the people who want to stay angry and bitter, and I'm talking about the people who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s. I'm not talking about just newly adults. I'm talking about grown people that have not matured. They have not healed. They have made a choice. They've made a choice to be angry. They've made a choice to let other people control them. They've allowed the decisions that they made, and they won't accept those things either, that they messed up. I made some poor choices. I own that. But there are individuals that will never own their own mess. They will never say, I was wrong when I did this. And how can I do better? I need to learn, because let me tell you something. Many of us didn't grow up in the best environment to learn how to communicate, to learn that it's okay to be wrong, to learn that it's okay to take care of myself. Because until my cup is full, until I'm well mentally, until I'm doing good with my financial situation, I'm not helping nobody. Period. I'm not helping anybody until I help myself. I had to learn that, because it's not sustaining. You cannot sustain all of the drama always pouring out. It's like a whole being in your own canoe. And no matter how much you try to bail out the water out of your canoe, if more water is going out than what is coming in, you're always going to be in the minus. You're always going to be in the negative. You're always going to be upset and angry because you're not balanced. So that's something that is important. We need to learn balance. Oh, okay, Jill. We need to learn balance. We need to learn balance. We have to. Okay? Yes. Amen. I can't complain. We can complain, but we won't, right? We're just going to stay in the present moment and do what we have to do for ourselves. That's what I wanted to say to everybody. Do what you have to do. Make the decisions that is beneficial for you. These people, nobody's paying your bills, okay? They're not paying your bills. They're not there when you're working all these hours and putting up with all this mess, and they don't know your home situation and things that you have to deal with and how you're holding things down. But they have so much to say. There's so many judgments on how you're parenting, or how you're doing X, Y, and Z. People always have something to say, but never helpful. They're never helpful. And those walking on eggshells people are the people who always have their hands out, but they never extend any help to you. It's always one-sided. So we have to do better. We have to know better. And you know why? Because we're worth it. And when I came to that realization that I'm worth it, and the same thing for all my motivators family, you're worth it. You don't have to take the negativity. You don't have to stay in romantic, platonic, a job. You don't have to stay anywhere where love is not being served, where respect is not being served, where you are not supported, where you're not growing. If you are in and around people and you are stagnant, you don't see yourself growing, you don't see yourself happy, you don't see yourself like benefiting in any way, it's time for you to start choosing yourself. And we forget sometimes that we have to put the oxygen mask on ourselves first. We're just thinking about, we're just on autopilot. I'm just used to it. And they only have me. Yeah, that may be true, because I know that some are single parents. I know that some have other financial responsibilities and things that they have to take care of, and running a business, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, you cannot do all of those things and serve other people until you learn to serve yourself. You got to serve yourself. You have to think about your health and well-being. I'm telling you, starting last year, I started to be like, you know what? I got to work on my blood pressure. I got to work on if I'm drinking enough. I got to work on eating healthier options and not just being lazy. And yes, I said it, being lazy, just picking up drive through, just picking up takeaway, when that's affecting your money and so many other things. But I said it because I feel like it needs to be said. If we don't take care of ourselves, we are not going to be there to help the people who need us the most. Got to serve yourself first. And we have to stop walking on eggshells with certain individuals. And it's hard to say that. And many people, they stay with people who are not good for them. They stay in those romantic relationships. They stay in the friendships. They stay in toxicity, you know, when you don't have to. You can make a choice to improve. You can make a choice to be better. You can make that choice. And I understand that it's uncomfortable, it's scary. Sometimes people don't want to walk that road alone. Yeah, it is scary. It is scary to walk certain roads alone, to think about your hopes and your dreams, and to love yourself enough to say, I deserve to take care of me. I deserve this rest. Okay. I deserve to use my talents and my gifts. I deserve to not have to explain myself. You deserve all of those things. But it's the controlling personalities, it's the walking on eggshells people that will really get to you. It will. They will. If they aren't already, they will get to you. And they're very slick in the words that they say. They will always make it seem like you did something wrong, and you find yourself apologizing for something and you didn't even do anything wrong. They want you to apologize because they made bad choices. Isn't that something? They want you to apologize because you're happy. They want you to apologize because you're educated. They want you to apologize because you're healing. They want you to apologize because they don't know your business. And they'll be big mad when you go silent on them. Well, what were you doing? None of your business. Oh, and now they want to say you're rude. Don't worry about those folks. If you have people in your life and they don't know how to respect you, if they don't know how to show up for you, and it's always about them, it's time for you to subtract yourself from the equation of them being in your life. You have a choice. I have a choice. We're grown. We're grown people, but it takes a lot of inner strength and self love to say, I deserve better. And I don't have to settle. I don't have to take it. You don't have to take mistreatment. You don't have to take a job treating you like trash. You don't have to take somebody who wants to put you on the shelf, and only when they're ready they won't take you. When they're done ghosting you, when they're done um doing whatever they want to do, and now they miss you because they're not hearing from you. Because what people want, like that, those walking on eggshell people, is they want you to be, oh, how are you doing? Oh, take me back. Oh, you miss me. No, they want all that attention. Don't give it to them. Those are the people you go silent on. People can't just drop you, ghost you, stab you in the back, do wrong things to you, and then feel that they can, oh, everything is okay. I can treat you like anything because you've been taking it. But now we're aware. We're aware, and now we know ourselves and love ourselves. And no, we're not doing that. No, you can't come back over here. You are on permanent block. You are permanently blocked. You can never come back in my life. Okay? And mean that, say that with your chest. You can never come back over here. Mean that and act like it. Don't go backwards. It's time for us to move forward and put our foot on the gas and get away from these type of people, because many of us was not told that we deserve better. Many of us. But I'm here to tell you, you deserve better. You deserve to have a better life. You deserve to have peace. You deserve to be respected. You deserve kindness. You don't deserve to be controlled. You don't deserve to be lied to, manipulated, stabbed in the back, cheated on, and all of those things and much more. When you know your value and you know your worth, you are not going to lower yourself. You are not going to have these people who are the crab in the barrel mentality. Don't let them control you. You have to take your power back. You have to take control, okay? And stop allowing these people to make us feel that we have to walk on eggshells and to be in fear, okay? Take your life back. Take your control back. Set those boundaries. Know your worth, okay? And remove yourself from spaces, from places, and from people who make you feel anxious and less than. Yeah, we know our worth, Motivators family, don't we? We know our worth. We know what we can do. Okay? So we just have to go about not allowing these walking on eggshells personalities to get to us. I'm Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach. I wanted to say thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's conversation and video. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. And shout out to all of my channel members. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to everybody. And I want you to know that you're worth it. Say it out loud. I'm worth it. I'm capable. And I'm never going back to settling for less than I deserve. I will see you all on the next one. Just know it. Just breathe it and be it and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Forgive me, I love me. I've I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Ooh, hey, yeah.